Migrating from Elite has me overwhelmed with the number of things that there are to see in Star Citizen. In my first video, I shared my first impressions of things related to the flight model and the immersion, a very quick first impression. I jokingly titled the first video, "Why Play Elite?" and I've decided to turn this into a sort of video series where I tackle one thing at a time. I've since released 2 small videos with some more cool revelations I had related to the flight model and the afterburner, so be sure to check those out as well. Now, moving on, welcome to the second episode of Why Play Elite? While planning what topics I wanted to cover in this series, I first intended this episode to be about planet tech. Anyone that knows me knows that I am passionate about planet exploration. Well, things did not go according to plan, as when I departed from Thurston for the first time and thought I'd stop first at a small space station called Beijing Point, I got stuck. Stuck? Yes, stuck. Because it is massive and there is so much to see. It has bars and shops and habs and observation decks and seats you can sit in, and a variety in docking ports and hangars and pads. There is so much to see, and so I decided this very first episode will see us starting out in space. So, join me as we take a look at the incredible space stations you can visit. First, I want to give you a quick look at the system map. I've been told that it is outdated and we'll see some important upgrades in the future, but I gotta say, I love a good overview of the system. It really helps to give a good impression of what a system looks like and where things are. I've really come to love their quantum drive system too, which is the equivalent of Elite Supercruise. I mentioned this in the very first episode I did, and that I wasn't yet sure if I liked it better. It works real simple. You select a target to navigate to and it will grab a couple of nav points found in the system to plot your course along. You spool up the drive and your ship will autopilot to the beacon. Now, I first thought that this might sound a little bit boring, but honestly, I don't miss Supercruise. It doesn't add much in terms of gameplay, other than the chores of having to aim and stay on target. In Star Citizen, you get out from your seat, walk around your ship, which in my simple case means I get to walk back and lay down on my bed while I do whatever I want to. Alright, I'm going to show you some very impressive space stations, but I want you to keep something important in the back of your mind. Star Citizen is still in quote-unquote early development, which is funny because obviously it has been in development for a long time, but there is still so much to do. And this means that you're going to see lots of placeholder NPCs standing around being funny and a lack of things to do aboard these stations beyond their very cool shops. Okay, disclaimer out of the way, this is Beijing Port, one of many space stations you'll find around planets. They typically come in a variety of ways. Their layout is sort of proc-gen, but not quite. There's of course a lot of handcrafting to the assets. Comparing this to Elite, where you have nothing but a hangar and a concourse, left me in absolute awe at the size. There's not such a simple building that you teleport to. There is an actual space station with floors connected via physical lifts that move between locations. Multiple floors for observation decks, a food court, shops, and a cargo loading area. Things are so big. I'm showing you the first arrival floor here, where you have these incredible observation windows and hangout areas. With seats that work. Some food stalls and access to the habs and other floors. Check out the hangars lifts first here, and you'll see that there are 3 types of hangars to go to. Maybe you spotted this already from the external view. The lifts will take you to their actual physical location on the space station. There's a massive docking port for big ships. There's a couple of these. There is hangars for medium ships, and of course if these are occupied, they're occupied. And then finally there is the outdoor landing pads. That's what we arrived in with our small Aurora, and these house the very small ships. Very cool. It gives such an incredible feeling knowing that you have to physically move to each location specifically and that you don't just magically teleport to a random hangar on the station. Okay, we're checking out the HABs next. The HABs are incredible. HAB stands for Habitation, in case you're wondering. Every space station has them, and while they are currently only used for respawning, they will be used for actual player housing in the future. Player housing is so important to make a game feel like it is an environment in which you can really live and immerse yourself. I'm so excited for this. The HAB styling is different per station. Here's a quick look at this cozy setup on Beijing port. I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind staying here. I want this room in my house. Let's make our way to the food court, and I hope it'll leave you in awe as it did me. Check out the incredible size and the beauty of this place. It truly feels like a food court you'd find in an airport, doesn't it? I'll tell you now that while the other spaceports also have a food court, they look nothing alike. There is so much to see, and I can only imagine how cool it will be to hang out in places like this with friends between grabbing missions and living your life in Star Citizen. Seeing places like this in combination with all the other ships and player housing really helps sell Star Citizen to me on the point of playing an MMORPG where I live in the universe. Next floor. This spaceport has a cargo loading area, and holy smokes, this place is exactly what I imagined while listening to the advanced maintenance menu in Elite. Where Elite did a lot to trigger the auditory senses by playing immersive audio clips, it truly is nothing more than a tech simulator where you have to work really hard to imagine things. Star Citizen goes that extra mile and really immerses you in the action by requiring time to press buttons, wait for an elevator, ride the elevator, only to get lost on a new floor because you turned a corner too many. This place is huge, and I've been told that it is used to load larger cargo onto and off of your ship, and you can hire either NPCs to do this or real players. Not everything has to be done box by hand. Check this out, by the way. Visiting any shop sees you looking at the actual items. You can hover over them, touch them, and try them on your character before you buy them. It's quite similar to GTA 5 in this case. This game is going to do so much in regard to character dressing and role-playing. With the ability to visit a store and dress your character, I can only imagine how much role-playing is going to happen. Again, there's player housing, body and facial animations. This space simulator is so much more than just that, and I can't not see the incredible potential. Hey baby, want to ride my big bad spaceship with me? I'll let you touch the controls. Very quickly, I want to show you the bar in this place. I was so freaking excited to find out it has a bar, but then when I went inside, I was really underwhelmed. It's a really boring bar. Then it struck me though. It would be, wouldn't it? All airport bars are fucking boring, and this one really fits the narrative. It looks and feels like a boring airport bar. So in essence, it does a super good job, and I'm pretty sure they intended it to. Another station found orbiting the sun in its lonesome. Yup, stations don't only orbit planetary bodies in Star Citizen, sees their cargo loading area replaced with a refinery. I thought I'd quickly show you this massive room. Admittedly, I don't know what it's for, but it looks fucking impressive. The station itself is not any less impressive. The entire layout is different, of course, and it is located inside of a Lagrange point gas cloud. I don't know what it means, but it looks spectacular. Next station I was told to visit, Grim Hex, a station embedded within an asteroid belt, orbiting moon Yella, orbiting planet Crusader. Giddy! Very quickly first, check out the belt. It looks taller than in Elite. which is a great thing because in Elite, while a ring had different depths of course, it was never very high. All rings always had the same height to them, meaning you'd fly through it from top to bottom real quick. And this one in Star Citizen looks a bit deeper, though slightly less impressive perhaps, in terms of colors. There's a lack of ambient fog. Maybe more realistic though, I will admit. It looks a lot more gritty. Alright, let's dock and check out this station. I'll say now, wherein Elite stations all sort of look the same, that is not the case in Star Citizen. This space station looks so incredibly run down, nothing like what I've shown you here before. I feel like I'm visiting a station that was visited by the Proto-Molecule in The Expanse. This entire game reminds me of The Expanse, to be honest. A slightly more high-tech version, and I fucking love it. Some of these rooms in the station remind me of Medina Station a lot. What's really cool about this place too is the fact that there is a massive room set up just for spectating races. Oh yeah, Star Citizen will allow you to play a racer as a career and participate in actual races. Around an asteroid base. In an asteroid belt. Dude. Here's a quick look at the hab in this place. Same layout, but differently styled. And getting out of the hab and walking through the hallways also sees a very different style and layout indeed. It's so run down. I personally wouldn't want to live here, but it is really cool to look at. This reminds me of a game called Neocron a lot, actually. It's an old game, and in fact a lot of Star Citizen does. Both have subways to navigate between sectors and places, both have player housing, and both have a very distinctive style between different places, making the world feel incredibly alive. Some of my favorite games that did player housing, player travel, and roleplay really well are Neocron, Anarchy Online, and Star Wars Galaxies. Shout out to anybody that knows or played these. Alright, I'm quickly finishing off with a space station where it all started, or so I've been told. Port Olisar, or Olisar, I've been told, was the first space station added to the game and will soon be removed or replaced. The exterior is just like an Elite Orbis station, and yup, this is where I was doing the racing in my previous 2 videos, if you have already seen them. The interior of this space station is definitely a little simpler. It looks very different from the other ones. The shops and doors in this place are a little less impressive, but still a lot cooler than the simple Elite Concourse. What surprised me about this station is that when I tried to leave, I was directed to landing pad Charlie 07, and the only way to find it was to follow the signs. There's nothing quite as immersive as having to use your eyes and scanning the rooms you walk through, looking for your way to where you're going. So, after this video, I hope you understand why it took me so long to go and look at planets. There's actually a lot to see in space too. My episode 3 in the Why Play Elite series should be about planetary tech and cities, which hopefully should include the gas giant and its floating station, if they are in the normal game by then and out of the PTU. I'm happily waiting patiently for it. And episode 4 will probably see me playing the multiplayer part with friends in bigger ships. I can't wait to experience all of these incredible parts of the game, but I also don't mind really taking baby steps and taking it all in. I've been having a blast so far. Okay, on a final note, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you around in the verse.